The history of aviation is marked by moments of extraordinary triumph and devastating tragedy. Among the most chilling examples of structural failure in commercial flight stands the incident involving United Airlines Flight 811. This event forever altered perceptions of aircraft safety and design. The aircraft at the center of this catastrophe was a Boeing 747-100, a venerable and widely trusted jumbo jet. On February 24, 1989, this particular aircraft embarked on what should have been a routine journey. It was a day that began like any other, promising a tranquil flight across the Pacific Ocean. The planned route for United Airlines Flight 811 was from Honolulu, Hawaii, to Auckland, New Zealand. Passengers anticipated a long but comfortable journey to their destination. However, their voyage would be interrupted by an unforeseen and catastrophic event. Shortly after takeoff, an unimaginable failure occurred. The forward cargo door on the aircraft's right side failed explosively. This single mechanical failure set in motion a chain of events that would test the limits of human endurance and aviation engineering. The location of the failure was critical. The forward cargo door, positioned beneath the main cabin, its integrity was paramount to the aircraft's structural stability. This door, designed to withstand immense pressure, instead became the source of disaster. Instead of remaining securely shut, the door blew outwards with tremendous force. The sudden loss of this structural component instantly compromised the aircraft's pressurized cabin. It created an immediate and life-threatening situation. The consequence was an explosive decompression of the aircraft's interior. Air rushed out violently, carrying with it everything not firmly secured. This sudden change in pressure inside the cabin was devastating for both the structure and its occupants. The outward explosion of the door ripped a massive hole in the fuselage. This gaping wound exposed the aircraft's internal systems and passenger cabin to the unforgiving forces of high-altitude flight. The integrity of the mighty 747 was severely compromised. Beyond the fuselage, there was significant damage to the aircraft's structure and control systems. Crucial components, including parts of the right engine and the main landing gear doors, were torn away. The aircraft was severely crippled. Both the flight crew and passengers were immediately aware of the disaster. A deafening roar, a sudden rush of wind, and the violent shaking of the aircraft signaled the immediate loss of pressure. The structural damage was terrifyingly apparent. Tragically, this catastrophic event resulted in a profound human cost. 9 passengers were lost due to the explosive decompression. Their lives were tragically cut short in a manner almost unimaginable to those on the ground. These passengers were ejected from the aircraft at an altitude of approximately 22,000 feet. The immense force of the decompression offered no chance of survival. It was a horrifying testimony to the power of such a sudden structural breach. In the midst of this chaos, a crew of remarkable individuals faced an unprecedented challenge. The flight was under the command of Captain David Cronin, an experienced pilot with thousands of hours in the cockpit. His leadership would prove instrumental. The entire flight crew demonstrated remarkable skill and composure under extreme duress. Their training and professionalism were put to the ultimate test. They had to act decisively and accurately, with lives hanging in the balance. Their initial actions were swift and professional. They immediately initiated emergency procedures, a series of critical steps designed for such dire circumstances. Every second counted in their fight for survival. Captain Cronin declared a Mayday, signaling the most urgent distress call in aviation. This alert informed air traffic control of their critical situation, requesting immediate assistance and priority for landing. The severity of their plight was undeniable. Simultaneously, the crew attempted to regain control of the severely damaged aircraft. The 747 was buffeted by the sudden loss of a large section of its fuselage. It was a struggle against immense aerodynamic forces. The challenges they faced were daunting. They fought desperately to maintain altitude, battling against the inherent instability of a heavily damaged aircraft. Every input to the controls required immense physical and mental effort. They worked to maneuver the crippled 747, which was now flying with a significant portion of its right side missing. The loss of structural integrity made every movement precarious. The aircraft was barely responding as it should. The crew battled against the loss of vital control surfaces. Portions of the right wing's leading edge were damaged, impacting the aircraft's lift and stability. This made maintaining a stable flight path exceptionally difficult. Furthermore, they faced the constant threat of further structural failure. The initial explosion had weakened the remaining fuselage. The fear of another rupture, or the aircraft breaking apart, was a very real concern. Amidst the unfolding disaster, the crew's primary focus was clear and unwavering: safely land the aircraft. Every decision, every action was geared towards bringing the remaining passengers and crew back to solid ground. They understood the gravity of their mission. Captain Cronin and his co-pilots meticulously turned the plane back towards Honolulu. This maneuver required careful calculation, considering the compromised state of the aircraft and the need to conserve fuel and structural integrity. It was a slow, deliberate turn. They navigated through turbulent conditions, exacerbated by the huge hole in the fuselage. The airflow around the damaged section was unpredictable. This added another layer of complexity to an already perilous situation. They also dealt with the ongoing damage to the aircraft. Warning lights illuminated the cockpit, signaling system failures and instability. The crew had to prioritize and manage these issues, making critical decisions under pressure. With astonishing precision, they skillfully managed the aircraft's descent. Every degree of pitch and roll had to be carefully controlled. They were essentially flying a damaged and unstable glider back towards safety. The crew prepared for an emergency landing at Honolulu International Airport. The ground teams were alerted, emergency services mobilized, a runway was cleared, anticipating the worst but hoping for a miracle. Against all odds, the crew brought the severely damaged aircraft down safely. The landing was firm but controlled. It was a moment of profound relief for those on board and for the anxious observers on the ground. This remarkable feat resulted in the saving of the remaining 337 passengers and crew. Their lives were preserved by the exceptional skill, teamwork, and bravery of the flight deck and cabin crew. It was an outcome few had dared to hope for. The successful landing of United Airlines Flight 811 stands as a remarkable feat of aviation skill and professionalism. It is etched into history as a testament to the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. This event redefined courage in the cockpit. Following the incident, an exhaustive investigation was launched by the National Transportation Safety Board. The NTSB's meticulous findings revealed the underlying cause of the disaster. Their work was crucial for future safety. The investigation conclusively found that the cargo door design was flawed. This critical design oversight had gone undetected or unaddressed for too long. It was a systemic issue with profound implications. Specifically, the locking mechanism of the cargo door was found to be susceptible to failure. The design allowed for the possibility of the locks not fully engaging or disengaging without proper indication to the ground crew. This was a critical vulnerability. Furthermore, the latching system was not robust enough to withstand the immense stresses of flight. The forces exerted on the door at cruise altitude exceeded the design's capacity, especially if the locking pins were not fully engaged. This created a catastrophic weakness. These findings triggered significant industry changes. Boeing 747s worldwide underwent redesigns of their cargo doors. The original, flawed design was replaced with a more secure and fail-safe mechanism, ensuring such an incident would not recur. The incident also led to a heightened awareness of the critical importance of thorough maintenance and inspection procedures. Airlines and maintenance crews were reminded of their vital role in ensuring every part of an aircraft is safe. Protocols were strengthened. The United Airlines Flight 811 disaster serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of aviation safety. It underscores the continuous need for vigilance in aircraft design, manufacturing, and operation. There is no room for complacency. Ultimately, this tragedy emphasized the continuous improvement necessary in aircraft design and maintenance. Lessons learned from such devastating events drive innovation and ensure the safety of millions of travelers every day. It solidified the commitment to never forget those lost and to always strive for better.